Welcome to Module 5. Does spending hundreds of millions of dollars on the new Rough Rider football stadium really translate into a net economic gain to the city and the province? Similarly, what about the impact of the infrastructure spending planned by the federal government over the next few years? Does it matter if that spending is on roads, sewers, airports, or hockey arenas and community centers? Will it jumpstart the economy? How does the oil price shock affect spending on houses, trucks, consumer retail? Will it cause a recession in Saskatchewan? What is common about all of these questions is they talk about spending in one part of the economy spreading to other parts of the economy and creating strong interaction and feedback loops through the economy. In the next 4 sections of the course, we will develop the tools and models needed to answer the questions that I've listed above and similar ones about these kinds of interaction effects. The first part of this is to build a model, and that model starts with aggregate expenditure and the components of aggregate expenditure, such as consumption. We will then develop the model of the multiplier and see how it can give us some insight into those questions on the football stadium, the infrastructure spending. And then we will develop an aggregate demand, aggregate supply model. These models will show us the interactions between the sectors of the economy. I have to admit that as a beginning economics student, I found this one of the most exciting parts of the course as I learned about these kind of interactions through the economy and got to understand things I observed out there in the real world. But of course then, I'm kind of a geeky economist type. So next up is Module 5. We will introduce simple models of consumption, investment, government spending, and net exports, and build these up into an aggregate expenditure function. The basic aggregate expenditure equations we use in Modules 5 and 6 are sometimes a stumbling block for students whose mathematics is a little bit rusty. Please work through the online notes, the text, and all the suggestions that you can see if you are struggling. After that, if you're still struggling with this kind of work and the equations, please contact me and I'll point you at some alternative resources. And finally, just a little secret. There's been hundreds of economic studies on football stadiums, etc. And not a single one has ever shown that a taxpayer-financed stadium made economic sense. They do not make economic sense. You want to build a stadium? Build a stadium. Don't come up with some BS story that is going to have strong economic factors.